And we'll get started. So we have a little low back request today. So we'll definitely work through some of the stuff that helps the low back feel good. And I will turn off my little heater because that does make a little bit of noise. So as you take a comfortable seat, take the time to sit well, adjust. Find that comfort through the low back, through the hips. So sometimes that means lifting your hips up considerably. Depends on the day, right? Whatever you did yesterday or however you slept might affect how your hips and low back feel when you come to sit. So as you let your hands rest down, lift your shoulders up and back, lengthen up through the back of your neck, finding that long spine, and then let your eyes close. As you take a couple big breaths here, just let your breath help you find some expansion. Let your breath help you tune into anything else that's showing up in your body that maybe you hadn't noticed before. Your breath is the vehicle for prana. Helps your life force energy to move. So as you take a little more time to allow your breath to move well, think about an even inhale and exhale in and out of the nose. Notice the energy that's present, and that might be tuning into whether you feel fatigued or whether you have the energy to get up and moving. Or maybe that's general sensations inside. Bring hands to connect at heart center. And as you gently press your palms, lift your heart up a little higher. Take another deep inhale and exhale in and out of the nose. And as you exhale now, bow towards your heart. Softly opening your eyes, release your hands down, and let's shift right away into a child's pose. As you find your child's pose, just remember that child's pose sometimes can be tough if you have any tight stuff going on through the knees, the hips, the low back. So as you find the variation of child's pose that works for your body today, make sure to shift and adjust to make it comfortable. Remember that concept of ease. Take another couple of deep breaths here and add a little extra movement into your child's pose to allow yourself to settle a little deeper. Then inhale, rise up to hands and knees, and pause here. Rotate elbow pits forward and push, expanding into your upper back. And then we'll pedal out with our legs, starting to work through calves and hamstrings. So this is a really subtle way to get into some of the stuck stuff that might be there. So as you pedal out, reaching back through one foot and then the other foot. Just make a little mental note of how the backs of your legs are feeling. All the way up into your hips, maybe your low back. As you take a couple more on each side, add that little extra push so you're getting a stretch through the calf muscle. And now, the next time you reach back with your right leg, toes tucked under, pause there and push. As you push, feel the back of your leg. Notice what's there. And now just slightly tilt your right hip a little upward, and at the same time, try to draw your right shoulder a little forward. Letting your side body get a little bit longer, take a deep breath. And then back into center, right knee back to the ground, and stretch back with your left leg. And again, push. Get that length through the back of your leg. And now lift upward with your hip just a little bit, and try to draw your left shoulder a little forward. And then left knee back to the ground. Inhale, reach back with your right leg. This time turn open with your hip, lifting your leg up if that's in your practice. If it's not, you're welcome to do the same variation we just did. But take a big deep breath here, wherever that is, and push. Expand through your upper back and shoulders. Big deep breath. On your exhale, release your right knee back onto the ground. Inhale, stretch back with your left leg, turn open with your hip. Big deep breath, push through your heel, push through your hands. On your exhale, left knee back to the ground. Inhale, stretch back with your right leg, turn open with your hip. This time, bend your knee and push your heel toward the left side. Stay pressing with your hands, expanding into the upper back. Reach through your thigh like you're trying to reach it toward the foot of your mat. Exhale, both knees come back down. Inhale, left leg reaches back, turn open with your hip, bend your knee, push your heel toward the right side. Again, push through your hands, find that expansion, reach through your thigh. Good, left knee comes back to the ground. And now this time, we're gonna cross our legs. So cross right leg behind your left, so your knee comes to the other side. Hands are here to help you to work your hips back toward your heel, coming into this cross-legged version of child's pose. Sometimes this feels really nice on the low back. Take a couple big breaths here, and you might walk your hands a little further forward, or even walk them out to the right side, your choice. Take a deep breath. And then hands walk back into center and rise back up to hands and knees. And now cross left leg behind your right. And then work your hands back, hips back towards your heel. Into this cross-legged version of child's pose. Maybe walk your hands further forward and lengthen your back body. Maybe take your hands out to the left. Big deep breath. And then back into center and shift forward onto hands and knees again, uncrossing your legs. Big toes together, knees wide if that's comfortable. Settle hips back towards your heels again. Child's pose, and just notice for yourself if child's pose feels any more easeful, or if it feels about the same, or if it's challenging today. Just notice what it is. Then inhale, rise to hands and knees. And set yourself up, rotate elbow pits forward and push. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips, downward facing dog pose. And take a couple big breaths as you pedal out. And now walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Extend your heart forward. Exhale and fold over your legs. And from this place, notice again for yourself how your hips, hamstrings, low back are feeling. And maybe take your feet wider than your hips if that feels better to your body today. Inhale and lengthen part way. Bring your hands up above your knees. And from this place, tilt your sitting bones up, creating a little low back bend. Extend your heart forward. And from there, sway your hips side to side. Keeping shoulders relatively stationary. Think of letting the movement happen from the hips. And now back into center with your hips and round upward like a cat pose here. Chin tucks in. Take a big deep breath. And now add a little bit of movement through your shoulders, side to side, keeping hips stationary. Then back into center, extend your heart and exhale, fold. Plant fingertips, step your right foot back into your lunge. Right knee is coming to the ground here. We'll get a little bit more into the psoas. So bring your hands up to your knee to rise up. And from this place, send your left hip crease back in space, allowing your right hip to come forward, but then push down with your back knee to keep the hip crease a little bit lifted. Bend deeper into your front knee without letting that back knee stop pushing. Keep it pushing down, then lift your chest, your heart, and now work your hands to your low back. And from this place, pull in with your low belly, pull in with your low ribs, lift your chest up a little higher, bend deeper into your front knee. Exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat, and step all the way back, downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath. Inhale, come forward into your plank. Feel free to use knees on the ground here if you would like. Rotate elbow pits forward and push, extending through your heart. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, shoulders lift up, coming into a baby cobra. Root down through your feet and your knees. Engage your low belly and your low ribs. Inhale, press with your hands and maybe rise up to a high cobra or a medium cobra, but broaden through tops of shoulders. Exhale, downward facing dog. And walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale to lengthen part way. Exhale to fold. Planting fingertips, step your left foot back into your lunge. Left knee comes down to the ground. Work your knee back as far as is comfortable. So maybe you have a little more length and stretch through the back thigh. Hands come up to your knees to rise. Knee, not both knees because one knee is back. So wrap your right hip back and think of your left hip wrapping forward and then push down with your back knee. Think of your hip crease lifting up. Keep that even as you bend into your front knee. Hands work to your low back. Push down with your hands, lift your heart up, and then engage. Low belly, hug it in. Low ribs, hug them in. Lift your chest higher. Bend a little deeper into your front knee. Keep that push of your back knee. Exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift your back knee and step forward, coming into your forward fold. Next, exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more this way. Inhale and exhale. Plant fingertips. Step left foot back this time into your lunge. And we're going to keep our back knee lifted this time if it's in your practice. You can always set it down if you need. But bring hands up to your hips to rise and center off with your hips. Push down with your hands on your hips and lift your ribs, your chest, your heart. Now, back toes push down. Think of elevating your hip a little bit. Think of upper thigh lifting. Take a big, deep breath. As you lift your heart up just a little bit higher, tone your low belly and your low ribs. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, bend deeper into your front knee. Then both hands come down to the front of your mat. Walk your hands to the inside, and from this place, back knee can be up or down, your choice. Work down toward one elbow, maybe two. Coming into this lizard pose variation or alligator pose. Push big toe mound down on your front foot and wrap your glute back on your front leg. If your toes are what is pressing into the ground on your back leg, push them down and lift your hip up just a little higher. Extend your heart. If your back knee is down, then push your knee down. Big, deep breath. Then rise back to your hands and settle all the way back. Downward facing dog pose, deep breath. Inhale, come forward into your plank. Knees if you'd like. Rotate elbow pits forward and push. Extend your heart. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up and open through shoulders first. Tone legs, press them down. Press knees down. Engage low belly and low ribs. Inhale, lift up as high as your body is ready for. Come to a high, medium, or low cobra, whatever is in your practice. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now step left foot forward in between your hands. Work it forward. You might need to bring your back knee down for that. That's okay. And then if it's in your practice, you'll lift your back knee up and take your hands up to your hips to rise. Center with your hips and settle in. Back foot presses down. Lift your back thigh. It really wants to sink down. And even more so, think of where your thigh meets your hip. That hip crease gets to stay lifted. So now as you lift your heart up even higher, tone low belly and low ribs. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, settle deeper into your front knee. One more big breath. Next, exhale, both hands come down to the front of your mat, work them to the inside. And again, back knee up or down is your choice. Extend with your heart first, and then work down toward one elbow, maybe two, as you come into this hip opener here. Lizard or alligator. If having your knee lifted becomes tiresome, feel free to put it down at any time. But now notice, big toe mound pushes down on your front foot. Wrap your front hip back. Push your back toes down and allow your hip to stay lifted. Or push your back knee down and allow your hip to stay lifted. Try not to sink into our hips. Big, deep breath. And then rise back to your hands and settle back onto hands and knees. And then hips to heels, take a child's pose. Take a moment to move around and shift and sense what's happening for you through your hips, through your low back, whatever is showing up in your body. Two more big breaths. Inhale, rise to hands and knees. And from this place, we're going to step forward into forward fold. So if you want to, you can step forward from here or lift your hips up and back to down dog and then step forward. Find your forward fold. And again, if you still have a tight low back or tight hamstrings, maybe take your feet wider than your hips. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Hands to hips, push your hips back, start to lift up and open through your shoulders and rise all the way up to stand. And from here, feet are inner hip distance apart and parallel, hands together at your heart. Close your eyes and tune into a full big breath. And now we're going to take our feet wider than our hips. You can take them out to the edges of your mat here. So a little wider stance for our fold. And then as you take your hands behind you to clasp or to make fists at your low back, pause and lift your shoulders up and back. Opening up through your chest, opening up through your heart space. Little bend to your knees. Start to push hips back, heart forward as you hinge and fold. From this place, if your hands are clasped, maybe you lift them away from your back. But if that makes elbows lock or wrists lock, then maybe set your hands right against your back body again. So wherever that is for you, lift your shoulders up and back, feel shoulder blades hugging, tilt your sitting bones up. Take another full big breath, let the back of your neck get long. And then release your hands down. Take a hold of opposite elbows if that is in your practice, and sway a little side to side. And now take hands to the outsides of your legs, outsides of shins, and push in. As you push in, think about pushing your legs back into your hands and tilt your sitting bones up. Keep that. Inhale, just slightly lift your heart up. Exhale, fold over your legs once again. And now release your hands back to the ground and step all the way back. Downward facing dog. Take a big deep breath. And lower knees down. One last time, hips to heels. And this time, if you want to take a shoulder opening variation of child's pose, you're welcome to. You can always take elbows onto a prop or two here. Or you can always take hands out to the edge of your props and let your shoulders and your head settle. Then inhale and gently push yourself up to your seat and come all the way down to sitting bones. And now we're going to take our legs wide. So if you need to adjust yourself on your mat to find a comfortable spot, feel free. Sometimes it's nice to have your heels on something. So legs out wide. And from this place, just notice for yourself, if your low back is rounding back, then maybe sit your hips up or draw your legs in a little bit, okay? To find where you can sit tall, and then move your sitting bones. And now pull toes back toward your nose and push your heels down. Fingertips either right in front of you or right behind you to help you sit. Lengthen, and as you exhale, start to hinge from the hips and fold as deeply as your body is ready for. You might grab a prop here, it could be a bolster or blocks to set your hands or your elbows down on. But notice your toes. Keep pulling them back toward your knees. Keep pressing your heels down. That press of the heels helps to make the knee connections of the hamstrings a little bit less intense sometimes. Push down. Knees might lift a little. Let's see if you can find that release. Then inhale, extend your heart forward. Exhale, maybe you inch yourself out a little further. Maybe you set your head down on something. Find what that is for you. Take a deep breath. Then inhale, extend your heart forward and work your way all the way back upright. And now we're going to draw knees upwards. You can always use your hands to support that. And then bring soles of feet together into your butterfly, your bound ankle pose. And as you settle into your bound ankle pose, maybe bring props under the knees. You can always do that roll of blanket over your feet. We're going to take a fold in this pose too. To take the time to maybe sit your hips up a little higher if your low back likes to round in this pose. Move your sitting bones. And then hold on where you need to. So maybe shins, maybe toes, maybe behind you. Take an inhale and lengthen, and exhale to hinge and fold. And again, recognize for yourself where that fold happens. If you're rounding from your low back, then maybe come a little more upright so that you don't round. Trying to find that length instead. Take an inhale and exhale in and out of the nose. Then inhale, gently rise back up. Knees come back upright. And let's lower all the way onto our backs. And as you come onto your back, knees draw upward toward your chest, and you can always have them a little wider here if that's more comfortable on the low back. And then rock a little. Give your back body that little bit of a massage from the ground. And then feet come to the ground, walk them out a little wider than your hips. And we'll take our windshield wipers here, and we're going to take them slowly. But I want you to notice each side. As you drop your knees over to one side, notice the length of the opposite thigh, straight out ahead of you. And then drop them to the other side, and same thing, notice the thigh, straight out from your hip. And then allow a little movement with your breath. Inhales to come upright, and exhales to drop to the other side. As you take this action here, just notice for yourself that lift of the opposite hip each time you drop your knees to one side. When the hip lifts, you have more of a chance of getting into that biggest hip flexor of the body, the psoas. If your hip doesn't lift, which is fine too, especially if it doesn't work for your body to let your hip lift today, then you might not get into that, but you still get into the thigh, into the low back. You, from this movement in general, just allow your nervous system a little bit of a massage. It's a good resetting. One more on each side. Then back into center here. Walk your feet in a little ways to drop your knees in together to touch. Reach your arms overhead and take a long stretch. And from here, think of moving your pelvis, a little swivel. And now if your low back is still feeling pretty tense, maybe set a pillow or bolster underneath your knees. Or you're welcome to release all the way out against the ground as you come to your favorite version of Shavasana here. You can let your eyes close. You can always add a blanket over you for a little bit of grounding and support. Just take the time to find what's comfortable, what helps your body come to a released place. Start to let your breath become deeper and more full. Gently add movement into fingers and into toes. As you're ready to bend your knees and roll over to one side. And slowly push yourself back up to your seat. with hands coming together at heart center, eyes closed, take another moment with your breath, sensing your energy. Have a peaceful and beautiful day. Namaste. Thanks,